Ooh, let me fix that angle just a little bit. There we go. All right, guys. Hello, welcome back to the channel. I make this video every year, and I've got to be honest, I actually just watched M.I. Gardner's winter sewing video today, and guess what? So I'll show you one thing I learned that I'm actually going to start incorporating to see if it works out for me, because it just seems simpler. I've already got one of the milk jugs done in the way that he does it, but this year I've just been taking my Gerber pocket knife from Freezer Bound Outdoors. Hey, shout out. And some scissors. And you'll also need a paint marker, but all I've got is a permanent marker for now. I'm gonna get a paint marker later and rewrite on these jugs of what they are. But anyway, so what I've been doing is just cutting the hole. Yeah, starting to cut around the whole thing with the pocket knife, and then I finish it off with the scissors. For me, that works the easiest. For you, it may not. I don't know. Drainage holes, very important. I try to put some in these ridges down at the bottom if the jug happens to have them. If they don't, it's not a big deal. Just to me, in my mind, that's a good place to put a drainage hole. Decent sized ones in there that I don't have to cut a bunch out. Just trying to widen up some of these smaller holes a little bit. There we go. All right, now I'm going to put my soil in there. This is a blend of Coco Coir, cheap potting soil, a handful of perlite, and a handful of Espoma Biostarter. I was using worm castings, but I ran out and Amazon hasn't brought my new bag yet, so I'm just using what I got. I could also use compost that I've got out in my compost pile. However, it's really cold out and I've already got this on hand, so this is what I'm just going to use. So I don't have to go out there more than I need to. I am inside by the fire in my Snuggie, and I made this hat too. And as I'm putting soil in there, I'm kind of pushing it down. That way, as it rains and snows inside of this milk jug, it doesn't keep compacting down, and then I end up running out of soil for my roots, because they're going to get pretty sizable before you take them out, in most cases, unless it's a slow-growing plant. Things you could be sowing right now are perennials that are perennial to your grow zone. Cold hardy vegetables. I do not suggest planting peas in winter sowing, because they don't necessarily like to be transplanted. Now, I'm sure you could put them in one of those peat pots, you know, or something like that inside of a milk jug and do the same thing if you really wanted to. Or you could probably try winter sowing in place by taking 20-ounce bottle tops, taking the cap off of that and sticking it on top of where you direct sowed your seed. That's another idea. Okay. Here is Ford Hook chard from Seeds of Change. I am not going to worry about spacing, because I'm going to be scooping these out and transplanting them out into the garden and other said places. So I usually do about 9 seeds per jug. And I usually try to do, depending on the amount of seeds I have and how expensive they are, I try to do 2 seeds per hole. Chard seeds look a lot like beet seeds, which I'm going to try to winter sow those as well, I decided. I've never transplanted beets, but I've seen a lot of people do it, so why not try it? What's it gonna hurt to get a little early harvest in? And I've got beet seeds for days. I bought Detroit Dark Red last year or the year before, at the end of the year, when they were clearanced out of Dollar General. So short on beet seeds for sure. I would like to try different varieties than Detroit Dark Red and Bull's Blood, though. Those are great varieties, but there's way more beets out there, you know. All right, then you can either chuck some soil on top if you didn't make holes, or you could just try to pinch them in or whatever. And if your soil isn't pre-moistened like mine is, you could go ahead and water it in now. And then all you do is stick the top on inside of the lip of the bottom. And so my problem up until now is this year I didn't have any duct tape, and I kept forgetting to go pick it up at where I work. And so I just used my extra wide masking tape that I use for canning labels and some Gorilla tape on the sides like this, just to make sure that that masking tape strip around here stayed in place, you know. Well, now I'm saving money and not worrying about the tape. And every year when I'm taking off tape, the sun kind of bakes it on there, you know, and then gets all weathered, and it gets sometimes hard to take that tape off. Now I don't have to worry about it. And also sometimes with taking that tape off, it ruins my jug and I can't reuse it the next year. Like this year, I've already got, maybe I want to say about 15 jugs started outside, and I'm scrambling for more. So I've got this box full of perennial flowers, cold hardy flowers, that I've got set aside to start now. So I definitely need more milk jugs. Like I said, if you listen to some of my past videos, we made a flower bed out there, and we were direct sowing seeds out there as well, and also in my pool garden, but we've never done a style like planted that style before, so we are going to have an insurance policy with the milk jugs. Oh, don't forget to mark what it is so you don't forget. Ford Hook Chard. And there it is, and then set it outside and forget about it for a couple months, and go out there and check it every once in a while here in about a month or two as it starts to warm up, to see if it needs watered or to see if you have anything germinating. And it's just that easy. And once you start having germination, and it, you know, you could start taking the tops off, letting more sun get to them and such. You know, you can kind of feel it out and play with it and see what you want to do. But don't let them get too hot in there, because it is a greenhouse effect and it could do the adverse and burn your plants. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless.